All right, Jennifer, we are live. Here comes the intro. What's happening, all you amazing people out there in podcast land? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the one, the only, you love it, you know where to find it, wherever you get your podcast. That's right, folks, the Grow Clinton podcast. As always, I'm your host, Andy Sokolovich, President and CEO of Grow Clinton. If you've never heard of us, Grow Clinton is an economic development, community development, and tourism organization based in the eastern part of the great state of Iowa, right along the mighty Mississippi, the city of Clinton. As always, I'm joined in the studio by none other than Jenny home from her office. Jenny, what's happening?
Hey, I got to ask you, what was that publication that I saw you in today? Come on.
It was the Corridor's top 500 leaders or something like that.
That's right. Full page.
Quad City Business Journal.
Not only that,
Business Journal.
You were featured.
Yeah, and I did not pay for that. I was contacted and somebody said, would you like to be the featured individual in the economic development section? And I said, sure, but I'm not paying for it. I don't like when people pay for recognition. So she said, oh, no, it's not. We had a group of people meet and, they read through all the applications and yours stood out. So
and I think you really deserve this.
Thank you.
I know that I'm just me, but
Yeah, I got to send my mom a copy. She can hang it on the fridge.
It's coming, Michelle.
Yeah, she saves everything, by the way.
Well, she should. She should be.
This woman mailed me my own teeth. Baby teeth.
That sounds like a threat.
Mailed it. It came in a little plastic tooth that you opened up, and inside were all my baby teeth. That's gross.
Sweet as heck.
No, it is cute.
Oh, then
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. Do I make a weird necklace out of it of my own teeth?
Ankle bracelet.
Enemies beware. I'm wearing teeth around my neck. Whose teeth are those? Well, they're my baby teeth.
They're mine.
You still will fear me.
And then I turned around and saw you in the Clinton Herald. It's like, wow.
Ooh, what was I there for?
You had an article.
Oh, rail merger.
Yep.
Yeah. So the Union Pacific Railroad is proposing a merger with Norfolk Southern. So you have your main east to west UP lines and Norfolk Southern dominating the north and south. Therefore, it'll be a transcontinental rail, a single operation under the UP name. There's some people against it too because it kind of monopolizes the market. Mm-hmm. However, our area is predominantly served, specifically our rail park, by the Union Pacific Railroad. We have a great relationship with them. They're investors in our organization, and we want to continue to support their future endeavors and success. So I was asked to write a letter to the editor, and I complied.
See, this is why we're so proud of you.
Oh, thank you so much, Jenny. Sponsors.
Yoo-hoo!
That's right. This mic check is courtesy of Citizens First Bank, making your finances and our audio crystal clear. Use new mics in the studio, proudly sponsored by the bank that's always in tune with our community. Find them at gocfb.bank. Banking as it should be with Citizens First Bank, member FDIC. AdCraft Printwear and Sully Sports. AdCraft, been around since 1974. Started out as a small community biz. Now a global leader in top-notch customized printwear for teams and companies all across the globe, Jenny.
Yes.
For all of your custom printwear needs, adcraftusa.com. Be sure to check out sullysports.com. And I suggest you become a member of the Sully's Shirts Club. Every month, I get a customized, unique shirt specifically for club members.
I wonder what's going to be next month.
I don't know. I'm excited, but that's part of being the club. I mean, $24.99, that covers the shirt alone. And then I get 10% off every day in the store, Jenny.
2 days.
So it's great. SullySports.com. Miles Communication, OG sponsor, powering the Grow Clinton podcast with wicked fast, high-speed internet. Also offering television and telephone services to meet your home or company's communication demands. If they're not in your neck of the woods, they are on their way. Trust me, Scott Bodie and team are working day in, day out to make sure you have access to the same wicked fast, high-speed internet. MilesTelephone.com. Lyondell Basell. The local Clinton complex produces high-density, low-density polyethylene plastic resins used to create a variety of products, including household and industrial bottles, pressure pipe, PEX tubing, food packaging, outdoor durable goods, kayaks, Jenny, construction and roofing materials, and toys. LYB, as they're found on the stock ticker, is committed to being a responsible, engaged neighbor in our community. And through volunteerism, charitable giving, and partnership with local organization, they want to strengthen the Clinton area by supporting education, sustainability, and safety initiatives. Lyondell Basell, Jenny Solutions for a better tomorrow.
Your house. All right.
Great show today, Jenny.
I know this is something just a wealth of knowledge, and I'm so excited to hear about it.
We got the BBB in the house,
Yes.
the Better Business Bureau, specifically the Quad City area market leader, Linda Nelson, is in the house. Linda, we were talking the other day on a podcast. Really, the average person, myself included, only hears of the Better Business Bureau, unfortunately, when there's a complaint. It's often tossed out there as like, I will report you to the Better Business Bureau.
Right.
But in reviewing the information you submitted on our application for the podcast and your website, much more than just complaints about bad businesses.
Absolutely.
So Linda, introduce yourself. How did you get involved in the Better Business Bureau, and what is new and exciting?
Okay, so I will say that I have only been with the Better Business Bureau for about 4 months now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this week is my 4-month anniversary. So I'm super new, but like you, back in the day, I thought that the Better Business Bureau is just where you go to make complaints.
Yep.
But we are so much more than that. So what we are is a community of businesses, like-minded businesses, who are committed to doing ethical business.
Yeah.
So when you see that BBB accreditation on a company vehicle or door or social media, whatever it is, you know that that business has gone the extra mile to have some other organization scrutinize them, do a background check. So you know that they are committed to doing ethical business.
What is the process for that? I mean, is it just a background check, or do you have, what is the?
So there is a several point process in
Okay.
that. They do a background check to see if there's been any criminal activity with the business owners or the business itself. They look at reviews. They do various types of checks just to make sure that this business is worthy to have that BBB
Right.
accreditation, because we don't just allow anyone in.
That's a big
Right.
deal. It is.
It is a big deal because this business has been around for over 100 years. And so for over 100 years, we have said, yes, this accreditation means something.
Right.
So when you look at it, you say, okay, I feel comfortable doing business with this business,
Right.
right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
right here on the website, we're at bbb.org/get accredited. You can see the application process. And it says right there, apply to be a Better Business Bureau accredited business, and show customers that your company operates honestly and with integrity. What I'm surprised is like the Better Business Bureau accreditation seal adds additional credibility to more than 400,000 businesses
Yeah.
across the United States
It's a lot.
and our neighbors to the north in Canada. So that's a lot.
It's a lot.
But when you think of the number of registered businesses alone,
Mhm.
it's kind of a small percentage. So meaning that what that tells me is the Better Business Bureau does an excellent job of vetting those they choose to accredit,
Mhm.
because they're not just going to slap that seal with their logo on just any business.
Right. And there's some instances where businesses fail to meet the criteria, and it also includes transparency.
Okay.
What do you have to be transparent? Or you have to have transparency in your business.
Okay.
So if you say, this is the job that we're going to do, it has to be written out and very clearly communicated.
Right.
And if there is a problem, doing business, there are problems that come up.
Mhm.
We just ask, or not just ask, we make sure that businesses are transparent about what has happened.
Sure, like the
Right.
scope of services. I mean,
Right.
we've run into it, not in this organization because I'm a huge fan of contracts,
Right.
but I've heard of other horror stories at all levels, even municipal levels, where they entered into an agreement with a company, loosey-goosey contract, no defined scope of services, no timelines, and then either the customer or the contractor grows a little less than comfortable with the agreement, and one of them backs out, and then it ends up in a courtroom. And unless you have that stuff documented, it's your word against theirs.
Right.
And you don't ever want to put yourself in a position. The other thing that's really cool here is, again, at the bbb.org, their website, Grow with Trust. You can elevate your business with the Better Business Bureau learning. You have a whole bunch of information on here that allows small businesses just at all levels of their startup or their operational, or they're looking for succession planning tools, to get some like pre-approved credits, certificates, and on-demand courses.
True. So we have a learning center where businesses can log on and get some pointers. We are also with the Des Moines, because we're based out of Des Moines, even though we do cover Illinois, Quad Cities, Rock Island County. We have partnered with Vanguard Action Coach.
Okay.
So once a month, it's the first Tuesday of every month for an hour between 9 and 10. We have webinars with Vanguard Action Coach.
That's not much to ask either. I mean, for your time, that's something that is accessible to most people, I would think. And this is amazing to me because this is a great partnership to have if you're in a business, because the learning part, you just need more and more of that if you're opening a business or if you're running a business. And who wouldn't want the ideal thing is to have a business. Any business should be able to be accredited by the Better Business Bureau, right?
Right, and so we want to assume, we want people to do ethical business.
Right, and you think that's just the way it is. And maybe sometimes with these classes, you don't know that you're doing something maybe, or getting pointers on something you could do better.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of stuff here.
Exactly.
I mean, exclusive benefits for Better Business Bureau accredited business. Google Career Certificate programs. BBB accredited businesses receive free access to a limited number of Google Career Certificates and AI courses in high growth fields like cybersecurity, data analytics, UX design, digital marketing, the list goes on. Accredited businesses through the Better Business Bureau, receive $75 off professional level membership to become a SHRM member, which is your Society for Human Resource Management, which we have a lot of SHRM members in our community. We don't have a local chapter any longer, but we have a list of about 60 to 70 HR professionals that all work with SHRM and are always seeking those continuing education credits.
Yes, and actually what you're referring to, that is separate from the Vanguard Action Coach. That is what you're referring to is through the BBB itself.
Yeah, very cool.
So, I mean, here's the thing. When you're in a small or medium-sized business, there's just a lot to think about.
Oh, so much.
Right? So much. And sometimes you just need that extra person.
Right.
The extra entity to refer to, to get some assistance, right? And so that's one of the things that the Better Business Bureau does offer through, whether it's the Action Coach webinars or through the websites, tutorials and stuff.
And we always talk about how, you can go into business and say, I'm going into business, unless even if you were brought up in business, doing business, things are changing so much now.
So fast. And when you think about marketing, I mean, back, because my former life, I was in media sales for 12 years for a major media conglomerate. And when I started in 2014, it was basically just newspaper, TV and radio, and then streaming audio was coming around now. Now, I mean, there are so many tactics to choose from that marketing can be so confusing for small businesses, right? To navigate. And that in of itself is its own entity.
It is.
Right? And so to be a small business owner, or even a medium-sized business owner these days, you have to wear many hats. And you have to excel at all of those. And it's next to impossible because the media itself is changing so rapidly. I mean, AI, for instance, that's the buzzword. And that's one of the things that we're going to cover in one of our Action Coach webinars coming up in a couple of months is AI.
And can you imagine being like someone my age who's been running a business all along, and then all of a sudden all of this hits?
Yes.
And you're going, I'm getting swallowed up. I can't reach my customers, and and so
you're losing traction.
You're losing traction, and so you get to see, something like this. It helps. I mean, you can't just say, I'm not going to do it.
Well, Jenny knows I'm a huge fan of leveraging AI, especially on the marketing side. I look at it as a thought partner, not my thought leader.
That's a good idea.
We here in our office come up with ideas, we come up with programs, we come up with planning, but we just need a little help to get it over the goal line. And we leverage AI all the time to do that for us, to make sure that our message is succinct, clear, and effective. And I love AI, but I will say it's one of those things where if you choose to ignore it, you will not exist.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying it's going to take over your position professionally, But if you choose to ignore it and stiff arm it and choose not to learn anything about it, you will become antiquated in the workplace. And as a result, will be swapped out for a different model.
Yeah.
That's the cruel reality. It's just like when the personal computers were introduced and people were denying the opportunity to learn computing because they were so used to their typewriters.
Right.
Well, what happened to those people that said, I'm not going to take a class on Microsoft Word. I'm not going to take a class on Microsoft Excel. I'm not going to learn anything about this whole computer thing. Well, they found themselves the exit door.
Right.
And that's just the cruel reality of the introduction of new technology. So it's important to always stay abreast of what's changing, especially from the marketing perspective. Now, Linda, does it cost anything to be a member in a accredited business through the Better Business Bureau?
So we are an organization, and with that, we have overhead costs.
Mm-hmm.
So no entity exists without there being some money involved. So yes, there is a fee involved because, like I said, we have operating costs. Plus, we are mediators for businesses and consumers when things go a little awry.
Right.
Or there's the perception of something going awry, which we, kind of talked about in the beginning with complaints, right? So somebody has to deal with that. So there are fees involved. You would be surprised what they are. So if you want to know more about that, by all means, contact me. Let's have a conversation.
One thing that I was really excited to see is that there's scholarships for young people involved.
Thank you so much for bringing that up, Jenny. I really do appreciate that. That's one of the things that people don't realize that the Better Business Bureau does. So once a year, we have our Torch Awards because our logo is a torch, right? So the Torch Awards happen every year. And not only do we recognize several businesses that continue to foster that ethical business nature that we so need and want, right? We also give away 2 $2,500 scholarships.
Yes.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So we give them away to here in the Quad Cities, 2 seniors. And we just closed out the deadline for that. So we are getting ready to, we, as in me, me, myself, and I don't know why I talk about myself as a person.
I do it all the time. It's because
Right.
we're multiple personalities.
Right, because you have to, we wear several hats, Andy. We wear several hats. So I'm preparing all of the applications because we had, I can't remember how many schools, but we had, I think, 32 applications come in from, all of the Quad City schools. So those applications are getting ready to go to the committee as soon as I get them ready to go tomorrow. But one of the things that we look at, because it's not just based on grades, academics, it's based on ethics.
Right.
Because we want to make sure that we are putting out young adults into the workforce that are going to be ethical, either business owners or employees.
It's so
It's so
interesting
important.
to hear that you have so many applications for that too, because these are our leaders.
These
in
are
the
our
futures.
These are people who are going to take care of our Social Security.
Right.
I just hope it's there.
Right, and my Medicare.
Right.
So Linda, how does a student apply for this scholarship and what are the criteria?
Okay, so thank you for bringing that up. So this would be in regards to the next year because we just closed out for this year.
2027 graduation.
So there's a form that you could go on bbb.org to go in and apply. So there's an essay involved. It's much like applying for school, really, or any other application. We're going to look at, how you perform in school, extracurricular activities. Also, what sort of ethical situation did you find yourself in or witnessing?
And
Sometimes
that's
it's just
hard.
witnessing.
When somebody puts that on you, it's hard. So a well thought out essay on that is impressive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you manage that situation? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And to ask that of young people, one, it takes courage.
Yeah.
Right? And we find that as adults, many of adults, if they were found in a similar situation, probably would just turn a blind eye.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
Or or just be faced with, that sort of good and bad,
Yep.
Devil-
Devil in the
Yeah.
angel on either
Right.
shoulder, trying to
Yes.
figure it out. Yeah, it's
So we look at them as, really great people, right? That we want in our organization to
you said it's $2,500 scholarship?
each.
Wow.
Yes. So this luncheon that we do, it's a luncheon here in the Quad Cities. In Des Moines, they have a dinner, but it's more conducive for us here in the Quad Cities to have a luncheon. We look for sponsors or people to buy tickets or tables because all of that money goes into the BBB Foundation, which then pays for those scholarships. And we have to pay for our overhead for the event, which is at Bally's, and Bally's treats us very well. So shout out to Bally's for that. And we're working on the menu right now. And we're going to try, and me, myself, and I, try to make myself more than I am.
I always say we, and by we, I mean
me.
Oh,
I
We are going to set up the podcast studio.
Yeah.
And by we, she means that Jen is going to turn the light on.
I couldn't even sit down.
That's funny. You did a great job turning the lights on.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that money then goes into the Scholarship Foundation, or the BBB Foundation for the scholarship. So right off the bat, we need $5,000, right, to pay for those.
Right.
Plus, we've got the meals and just the overhead for that. So if you want to learn how to be
like a sponsor.
Thank you. I lost my words. I was afraid at 2:00 in the afternoon I would lose my language, right? Yeah, I told you, I warned you. Yeah. So we're looking for sponsors or people to buy tickets or tables. And we say, you know what, this is a great opportunity for business owners to celebrate their staff.
Yeah.
We would love to buy you lunch, but as a nonprofit, we are not able to do that. Right. So come out and celebrate your staff and buy them lunch. And it's going to be a nice lunch. Like I said, we're working on the menu.
When is this now?
It is June 11th at Bally's.
Yeah, be sure to send us information on it, because that's something that we would
absolutely
make a trip to attend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the other things I think is cool is the CEO Forum group. That's really neat. It says giving the BBB accredited businesses the benefit of thought leadership, content, and insights through in-depth interviews with over 1,000 top CEOs. It's valued at nearly $200, but you can sign up for free by visiting bbb.org and then business education in the drop-down menu. I just slapped in my first name, last name, and email address, and I'm assuming there's probably an email floating around waiting for me to answer in response. So any opportunity you can get to no-cost education, and I did go through the list of some of the CEOs that are featured in the CEO Forum group, and they are easily recognized as some of the biggest thought leaders in industry across the United States. So that's great as well.
And who doesn't need that? I mean, if you're running a business, you don't know everything. It like you said, no-cost education. It's great.
Grow Clinton, I believe, is a member of the Better Business Bureau.
Yes, you are, and thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome. I did not know that we were,
Yes.
so I'm excited about that. But I just searched for our name in there, and boom, it popped up.
There we are.
So love it. But no, the BBB holds a tremendous amount of influence and authority throughout the business world, and that's the first thing you hear when somebody has a concern is they're going to file a complaint. So when people, I don't know if this is within your wheelhouse or not, but when people call the Better Business Bureau and have an issue regarding a business interaction they've had, what are the repercussions? What's the investigative opportunities that are out there? Like, what does that look like as far as the process goes?
So that is a great question. I personally don't deal with the complaints.
Yay!
Other than maybe people coming into my office, or filling out a complaint and mailing it to me. So because I am only one person here, we actually have representatives in Des Moines that's pretty much all they do.
So if you have a complaint or an issue in Clinton,
You can go to me.
you can go to you.
Yeah, you can also go right online and file a complaint too at the bbb.org.
Correct. You could call me, you could email me, you could fill it out online, you could stop by, although I would call first because I'm often out and about like I am today. Yes. And then I just forward that on to Des Moines. We have two wonderful people in Des Moines who handle that. They are so compassionate. And the times that I have spent in Des Moines, talking to them, just hearing some of the stories.
Yeah.
It is so sad
Yeah.
And they're just so compassionate. One lady there, she actually will call people back and say, how are you doing today?
No, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
That's
because sometimes this money, it's just gone,
Mm-hmm.
but we need to know about it, right? We need to know about it.
Yeah.
Right,
Well,
because-
unfortunately, it's people take advantage of folks, like even
right.
seniors.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Number
targeted.
one target.
Yes.
I mean,
Mhm.
they don't, I'm not gonna say they don't know any better, but they don't know if it's a scam, if it's legit.
It's hard to tell.
And then you have, like my grandfather, he used to always go and buy a car by himself. And I hated that he did that all the way until his late 70s, because I'm not saying that all salesmen in the auto industry are
Oh,
like
no.
that.
No.
But there's a few rotten apples
Mhm.
that ruin the entire bunch. But several would approach him and he'd walk out of there paying sticker.
Yeah.
And they'd say, oh, we can't go down, or we can't. And they're just taking advantage of the fact that he was older and hard of hearing, and like, that's a shame.
And that, you talk about that, that goes back to the trust, because they come from a generation where there's a great deal of trust and people were ethical, and you could most of the time believe what you're hearing. And now, just like we talked about with AI, it just happens so fast that you don't realize that you're getting run over.
Right. And I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the things that I'm tasked to do and that I'm looking forward to doing is holding forums or meetings where I come in and I talk to different groups. There's a program that the Better Business Bureau does that's called MVI, Military Veterans Initiative. So I will go out into the military community or the veterans community and talk about ways to safeguard yourself against fraud and scams. We were recently, and I do mean we, because it was more than just me. I had my coworkers in Des Moines come down for the Quad City Builders and Remodelers home show about 2 weeks ago. And so we had the wheel of scams. It was a wheel. You know, he would spin it. And, well, first I would shout, hey, are you a sucker? And people were like, what? What are you calling me? And I was like, well, let's find out. Spin that wheel.
Right.
And so one of them, which that we had on there, was phone. And so the seniors would come up or anybody, even children, okay, the phone rings. You don't recognize that number. What do you do? And so many people said, I don't pick it up. Exactly. So this is what I say to our senior community. The best way to safeguard yourself from that type of fraud is, if you don't recognize that number on your caller ID, don't pick it up.
Right.
Let it go to voicemail. Let it go to your answer machine. That's what it's there for.
Unless you're lost in the Rocky Mountains. I just read a story last night that a guy was lost in the Rocky Mountains for like 2 days. And he had cell phone signal for some reason. But I don't know what happened, but it was the emergency response team, the CERT team, from the park ranger's office that were trying to call his cell phone, and he did not answer it because he didn't recognize the number.
I'll tell you what, anybody calling me at that point, I'm going, help me! Get me out of here!
I just thought that was big
Oh
chuckle,
my
but
God.
no, you're right. Scams, we get it all the time. I mean, especially in my position as the president of the organization, my name shows up under the organization. If you look on the Secretary of State's website as the president and CEO, our contact information is public. We get calls all the time and they act like they know me. So like Karen in the front office will answer the phone and they'll say, oh yeah, hi Karen, is Andy available? And she'll just forward me the call. Next thing I know, I hear, hi Andy, my name's so-and-so from so-and-so. And I just want to know who is in charge of your telephone or who's in charge of your credit card processing. And, you know, I'm young enough, I think, to realize that this is a scam. But I can imagine that if you don't know, you think there's a credible individual on the other side of the phone that's trying to give you an amazing deal and you just hit the lottery.
Well, and I think with the seniors, a lot of times they go after their heart, because I took care of an uncle. He has passed, but I was in charge of the finances. And when I first started out, he'd get a stack of mail like this, and I'd go through it, and he was giving money to all of these different places. And I would just pick them out, and then we had to have a long talk about it. And that was really, he didn't want to give it up. He said, I'm doing good in the community. And I'm like, oh, and so they just appeal to that. And you gotta be careful.
Exactly. There's a couple of things here. One of which is the IRS and Medicare. And I've seen this happen, and it is, it's just,
I'm not even on Medicare and I get those calls.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so sad. So never, ever give out your social security number. The IRS is not going to call you. Medicare is not going to call you. So don't give out your social security number. Do not give out your Medicare number.
Mhm.
These people are really good
Oh,
at
yeah.
what they do, really good.
Hustlers.
And if it happens, contact us. We get the state's attorney involved. We can get other people involved. Like we know what we're doing. I may not, but the people in Des Moines know what they're doing. And so does the rest of the organization. Eventually I'll know because I'm just new, but
the help's out there.
it
It's just
happens.
crazy how
Don't
they
be
get you
embarrassed.
information. Yeah.
Don't be embarrassed. It doesn't mean that you're stupid.
No.
It doesn't. These things happen. I mean, I almost got scammed a few months ago because I was busy,
Mhm.
and I wasn't paying attention. It was like, oh crap, Linda, what are we doing? Everybody slow down, think about it.
Yeah.
And it's okay to be rude.
Oh, yeah.
You were talking about our older generation. They came up into a world where you were polite.
Mhm.
Many of these, well, we will say scammers, they're not polite.
Mhm.
They
So
start
it's
yelling and-
okay.
yeah.
It's okay. Hang up.
Right.
That's what I say. Hang up. I mean,
Just
my
breathe.
wife drives me nuts because I'll hear her go, yeah, yep, no, not interested. No, not interested. Oh, yes, and I'm like, hang up the phone.
Hang it.
Right. And be careful when you say yes. Because yes, they can record that
Yeah.
and then they can play it back. No, you agreed to this.
Mhm.
Yeah, they
Next
can
thing you
threaten
know,
you,
you've
whatever.
got a 10-year subscription to magazines you don't even read.
That's crazy. I
Right.
recently took out a home equity line of credit from our financial institution, and my home is insured by USAA. And I closed on that line of credit probably 2-3 weeks ago. I'm not even exaggerating, 3, 4, 5 times a day, I get a call from an unknown number, and it's a person, and they leave a voicemail saying they're calling from USAA, and they want to confirm a few things. They want me to answer some questions, and I know it's not
Terrible.
USAA. And so somehow however, the World Wide Web, they realize that I now have basically a second mortgage on my house through the local financial institution, and they're calling about insurance, which is a scam. I mean, it has nothing to do with USAA, but they are relentless.
They are.
So when that happens, if somebody calls you from, in this case, USAA, hang up the phone or don't call them back on that number. Look the number up. That is actually the institute that they're saying they're from.
Yeah, I just ignore it. But like my mom, she freaks her out. She wants to know who it is and how they got their information and who's calling. I'm like, Mom, they're going to continue to call.
Yeah.
I mean, she's like, well, I put them on the do not call list. And I'm like, doesn't matter.
They have a million numbers.
They have a million numbers. They're going to call. They can actually spoof numbers now
Right.
and just
I've seen
copy
that
local
happen.
area codes. And
Right.
It is crazy. But yeah, so there's a ton of information again on bbb.org. You can go to the scam prevention side of the business. They have a risk calculator. It'll test your knowledge. If you're worried about being targeted, you can search the scam reports that have been sent into the Better Business Bureau, watch videos, library resources, all sorts of things to include signing up for a scam alert distribution. Should a new one get reported to the BBB, you'll be the first to know.
Now, Linda, how can people get a hold of you?
Okay, so probably the best way to get a hold of me is through email.
Okay.
So my email is my first name, Linda, Linda, and my last name's first initial.
Okay.
Initial. So it's Linda N as in Nancy
Okay.
at DM as in Des Moines .bbb.org.
Okay.
So it's Linda N at dm.bbb.org.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's the
very
best
good.
way.
So, okay, we talked about BBB being part, complaints and things like that. Moving forward, how do you want the BBB to be seen?
So I want us to be seen, and I want to create a community of businesses that are doing business ethically.
Mhm.
And so I really do mean it when I say I want to build that community.
Mhm.
So within Rock Island County, Scott, Muscatine, and Clinton, I want us to grow to be this really awesome community. We're only as strong as our members.
Mhm.
So the more members we have that are committed to doing things according to the BBB standards, the bigger and better we are.
Right.
As a community too, right?
Right.
Because the more that we have in our organization, the more it's going to force others to operate the way
Right.
they should be operating.
You're never going to get rid of all the scams,
No.
but it's great to know that there's an organization that can band together the people who really want to do well and want to do it ethically.
Exactly. And as far as consumers, we need to know about the bad actors.
Right.
So let us know.
And like you said, don't be embarrassed and, come forward. I know it's embarrassing, but you've been embarrassed before. Come
We're not going
on.
to judge you. We're not going to judge
no,
you.
No, you're actually looking for this information.
Yeah, we're looking out for you.
So, yeah. Right.
No, very good. Well, Linda, thank you so much for being a guest on the Grow Clinton podcast. No doubt the Better Business Bureau offers a lot of resources. It's much more than just a complaint department. Check them out. BBB, that's 3Bs in a row.org is the website. Tons of information on there. And I strongly encourage you to become an accredited Better Business Bureau business. It's very simple, online application. Check it out. So best of luck to you in your future endeavors there, Linda.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Jenny.
Sure.
I really appreciate you having me on.
We like that you're here.
Jenny, tomorrow's Friday.
Woo!
Big plans?
This weekend's probably going to be kind of quiet, but tomorrow at work, I got a lot of ends to tie up. And
Yeah, as do I.
yes.
I usually try to keep my Fridays a little on the lighter side,
Yes.
but tomorrow is not the case. So it is what it is. But then Saturday morning at 9 a.m. over at the Comanche City Hall, we will have our second legislative coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we were hear from Representative Tom Detterman, Representative Norla Mumpson, and Senator Mike Zimmer on how everything's going out in Des Moines. Very interesting legislative session we're in right now.
Isn't it though?
Next year's going to be different. Incoming governor is going to be different.
Yep.
Administration is going to be different. Who knows what it's going to look like? We have a lot of high-ranking department heads and state-level departments that are leading
It's going to be
because they
changing.
were governor appointed.
Right.
And Governor Reynolds is not running for re-election. So lots of things are changing there. And I'm very anxious to see what they have to say on Saturday. And then Sunday afternoon, Jenny, I am guest DJing the inaugural
Yes.
mother-daughter dance.
No, mother-son.
Mother-son
dance.
dance. Whatever. It's mother-son dance.
Mother-son.
In partnership with Information Referral and Assistance Services. So it's the first one they're doing as a fundraiser to support everything that IRAS does, specifically well known for their food pantry.
Yeah.
And they have their free store. People can go in and get household goods and clothing and things like that at no cost.
And it's a great time. And when you think about what Regan, the executive director of IRAS, said that their need has grown to like over 400% of what it had been, it's a great way to give back.
Yep, definitely a good operation there. Regan does a fine job
Yes.
with the employees, the limited employees she has, and then all the volunteers. So that's my weekend. I got stuff going on Saturday and Sunday. Trying to schedule some downtime, but I heard the weather's supposed to be nice.
It's supposed to be nice, but every minute you have is always scheduled.
Yeah, it's tough. But I got to get my chunky dog out there.
Oh,
I got Bailey Bubbles. Excuse me, Bailey Bubbles. She's the Labradoodle.
Yes.
She's physically fit, full of energy. But then there is Josie.
Josie.
Big Joe is
Yeah.
what we call her. She is a Bernie doodle. And she definitely thinks she's going into hibernation. She's packing on the pounds like a black bear. And I got to get her out walking around. But she's the one that will no longer go for walks.
Why?
She's lazy.
Yeah, I have one
She
like
just
that.
decided one day that she no longer wanted to walk. It literally was like Forrest Gump. Like, I'm done now.
I didn't
And
know
just
you
turned
could do
around and went
that.
back. No, she just stopped. Lady was walking past me. She's like, she okay? And I'm like, she's fine. She's lazy. And as soon as we turned around and headed back towards the house, she was up and prancing. We were going back to the house.
Phony, big
But I'll try to
phony.
trick her. I'll drive treats out there. We'll get down our driveway. And as soon as I hit the main road, she kind of looks at me and goes like, whoa. Is this a walk? Like, are we doing this? And then she just locks it up and that's it.
That's
and I
it.
got to drag her back to the house. So
I have action, and action is, Steve keeps trying to tell me that action is muscular.
no,
No.
she's not muscular.
No.
She's a real roly-poly, but she's a 100-pound dog. She probably should be right around 80 pounds, but she's a hundo.
Mhm.
And she thinks she's a lapdog.
Oh, no.
When I sit on the couch at night, she just crawls up and gets in my lap. And I'm a big guy, so I don't mind it. But she does to my wife, who's 4'11".
She teased.
And my wife can barely see over the dog's back. Like, hello, I'm under here. Help me.
Someone was sitting here.
So, yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Grow Clinton podcast. We want to say a special thank you to our nearly 500 members that, much like the Better Business Bureau, support us through their investment and membership Void of that, we do not exist. And we have a ton of different opportunities and resources available to our members to really help grow and develop their business, their leadership skills, and also partner with us to continue to grow in the local economy in the greater Clinton region. If you want more information on membership, hit up Jenny. Just go to growclinton.com, click staff. You can find her beautiful picture and send her a message there. And she'll be happy to talk to you about our many tiers of investment and the return on that investment. Be sure to subscribe to the Grow Clinton podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, folks, stay classy. See you. Okay.
Thank you for this opportunity. Sorry.
Dunzo.
So have you ever done a podcast before? I bet you have.
No, this
Really?
is my first podcast.
Oh, well, you did
Sorry
great.
about that. Was it